Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hong Li. It's my pleasure to be here and join this wonderful conference meeting to share my viewpoint of women's rights in the United States. I was born and grew up in Beijing. 1 year later, I was taught that the men and the women share half and half blue sky. I believe that I was born at the best time in China. In 1996, I went to the United States. I planned to continue to study and learn something new. However, the first lesson that I learned was that women's rights in the most advanced country in the United States cannot even compare with the environment where I grew up. For example, women in the United States gave up their birth name to carry their husband's last names after getting married. And the whole culture continues that trend of renaming women. In my mind, only older generations in China, like my grandma's time, were that way. Since 1949, no one needs to do so because women have been liberated from feudal oppression. In addition, it presents very well that men and women shall be paid equally from the same work in the United States from the government documents. The reality is that men and women are facing different pay for equal work. Significantly, many female leaders in the world are elected to be premier president. However, America was not ready for a female president. That's why Hillary Clinton didn't become president, even though she was more qualified. Hillary Clinton had prepared her whole life. Her capability and experience should have made her well qualified to be the first female president of the United States. In 2016, I remembered that many male voters, including all kinds of cultures and races, ignored her qualification and said clearly that they would not choose a female to be the president of the United States, and they just picked the other candidate. The history of women's rights in the United States bears witness to the suffering suffered by women from all over the world. American women's liberation has gone through a challenging process like other countries in the world. In 1769, women cannot own property in their own names or keep their own earnings. In 1777, all states passed laws that take away women's right to vote. In 1839, the first state, Mississippi, grants women the right to hold property in their own names, but only with permission from their husbands. You can tell that women's rights in the United States have been improved year by year. However, we still realize we need to continue improving women's rights in one of the most advanced countries of the world. Eliminating all forms of gender discrimination and achieving equality between men and women are the essential signs of the progress of human civilization. The Mexico Declaration, adopted by the United Nations First World Conference on Women in 1975, stated, "The equality of men and women refers to the equality of human dignity and the value of men and women, as well as the equality of rights, opportunities, and responsibilities of men and women." However, the United States has not yet ratified the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the core UN Human Rights Convention. The gender discrimination problem in the United States has seriously hindered the realization of women's human rights. It's no doubt that the status of women in the United States is much better than in the past 20 years. Now, many women choose not to use their husband's last name after getting married. I believe the progress has a lot to do with improving women's education in the United States. Comparing the year 2016 to 2021, we know that things are getting better. We have elected the first female vice president in the United States. This is a good sign. However, during Vice President Ms. Harris' election campaign, she has suffered many attacks. Women need to work hard twice as hard as men to overcome challenges such as double standards. Today, we're still waiting for a female president in the United States, and we don't know how long it will take to get there. However, we saw some positive situations from primary elections such as the city level, electing females as their city council members, mayors. People are accepting more and including all kinds of colors and cultures to be the official representatives. It just so happens that women of color have been hit hardest by the coronavirus in the United States. The coronavirus pandemic has dramatically affected the status of women in the workforce. Even women who have retained their jobs know that they are paid on average less than men. Women's rights in the United States are still an ongoing topic. The government and the community leaders should work together and address the impact of the pandemic on women or tackle pre-existing gender inequality. Otherwise, there's a risk of losing ground as more women leave the workforce permanently. The damage could be lasting and take years to repair. We need to believe that the men and the women should be equal. The path forward is long, but it's a road we must travel to make progress for gender equality. Thank you.